Hello everyone. I'm sure everybody is looking forward for the next chapter which will be there in your exams. I'm your mathematics guru Shivani ma'am, and today I'm there to help you with a very important chapter of book 1 that is known as applications of derivatives. Now before that we did a chapter known as derivative. Now a lot of students usually ask me, why are we learning derivative? Why are we doing this? Because these are considered to be slightly tricky chapters of mathematics. सो जोकिंगली मेरा पहला आंसर यही होता है कि बिकॉज अगर आप इसको करोगे नहीं तो एग्जाम में मार्क्स नहीं आएंगे. सो फॉर योर मार्क्स यू नीड टू लर्न दैट. बट actual answer is definitely because there are a lot of applications of those chapters in your day-to-day commercial life as well as other lives where we are going to apply to find out the calculate the increasing and decreasing function, value of the maxima and minima, and then applications in economics also. Now wherever you are, in whatever line you are, whether you're doing your engineering, whether you're doing your any high-tech this also, which is not at all, even medicines, not at all related to the commerce part, everything actually ends up into a scenario where selling, buying, marketing comes into picture. So whatever you do, ultimately you will be utilizing all these tools to find out a place in the market, to see how the business is going, to see and formulate the plans for that. So here in this chapter, the applications of derivatives, we are going to see that how we can apply this in our everyday life, as well as how we can apply it into the questions which are asked to you in the examination. Now the first application which we are going to go with is finding out the meaning of derivative as well as finding how to find out the equation of tangent and normal. Before we are moving to the tangent and normal, एक छोटा सा session I am giving you for the equation of straight line. Because what happens if your equation of straight line is not clear, you won't be able to find out the equation of any kind of thing. So for a straight line, आपका equation का format होता है y is equal to mx plus c, where m is considered to be the slope or gradient of the equation or the curve, and c is basically your y-intercept. Now, if you know the slope and you know a point on which the equation lies, so आपके पास एक और equation का way होता है. To write that equation, we use the formula y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1. Now, these two are the key things which we have to keep in mind when we are going with the equation of tangent and normal. At the same time, one more rule which you have to keep in mind is that for perpendicular lines, the slope always multiplies as -1. So if there are two lines which are perpendicular to each other, m1, m2 will be -1. And for parallel lines, the slopes are equal. m1 is equal to m2. So before we start the first part, we have to keep this in mind. Now, in the first part, we have to find out the tangent equation or the normal equation. For any curve, let's see a curve over here. For any curve, say this is the curve which is coming. If I have to find out the equation of tangent at this point, first of all, we have to find out the slope of the line. Now, the slope of the line is actually the derivative of this curve, which is y or fx. So the slope of tangent is f dash x, or you can say dy by dx. Now, to get the exact value at the given point, whatever is the point, say x1 y1, हम उस point की value को f dash x में डाल देंगे to get the exact value of the slope. And once you have the slope, you can put it into the equation format which I just showed to you people. Y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1. Similarly, for tangent, now tangent and normals both are perpendicular to each other. So since the slopes are going to be perpendicular to each other, so m1, m2 will definitely be equal to -1. Therefore, slope of a normal over here will be minus 1 upon dy by dx. Or you can just reciprocate the value with a negative sign. And equation हम इसी format में निकालेंगे क्योंकि हमारे पास point होगा x1, y1. We can use that point and find out the equation over there. So this one is the basics for the tangent and normal. Now, as such in the examination, again, applications of derivative is a chapter which is having a high weightage. 9 marks का पूरा इसका weightage होता है along with the options. Without options, 7 marks का weightage है. So here in this case, you can see just by learning these small topics, you will be able to score that good 9 marks. And they are not very time-taking questions. So they will save some time for you so that you can spend more time in the part 2 of the paper. Now, before we start this, let me take a question over here. Say the first question of exercise 4.1. I'm writing the question here for you people. Y is 3x squared minus x plus 1. And you need the equation of tangent as well as normal at the point 3, 1. So let's see first. अभी मैंने आपको बताया कि slope of tangent क्या होगा? Slope of tangent will be dy by dx. Okay, so the m value will be dy by dx. So this slope is, we'll find out the dy by dx of this equation which we have learnt in the chapter derivative. So this is going to be 3 into 2x and x ka derivative 1 hai, which is 6x minus 1. Now this is the general slope for the tangent of this curve. अब हमें tangent कहाँ चाहिए? At the point 3, 1. So at the point 3, 1, the slope which is written as dy by dx at 3, 1 is 6 into 3 minus 1. What will we do? X and y की values को replace करेंगे 3 and 1 से. Since here y equation में नहीं आ रहा है, तो we'll just put the x value which is coming at 18 minus 1, that's 17. So this one will be your slope for the tangent. Now equation of tangent. अब भी मैंने ये equation का भी आपको formula दिया है. You can write the formula y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1 and then substitute the values. It will become easier for you. So it is y minus, now y1 is, यही point है आपके पास, 1 is equal to 17x minus 3. Okay. Now open this whole thing to get your final answer. So y minus 1 is equal to 17x minus 51. And once you open this, your answer should always be given in the format of ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. तो जिस side आपको x positive लग रहा है, उस side shift कर दो सबको. So here we know 17x is positive. I'm putting this 0. I'm writing 17x minus y minus 51 plus 1. And your final answer becomes 17x minus y minus 50 is equal to 0. ये हो जाएगा आपका equation of the tangent. Okay. Now we'll move to equation of normal. So for the equation of normal, base हमारा same जाएगा, only हमारा slope change हो जाएगा. So let's see the slope part over here. So dy by dx we've already calculated as 17. So slope of the normal, which we are going to write here, slope of the normal m1 या m dash. Don't use m again. Already एक slope के लिए we have used that variable. So we can't use the variable for the second slope. So m1 is equal to minus 1 upon dy by dx. So we can directly get minus 1 over 17. Now equation of the normal. बाकी सब कुछ सेम होगा except the slope value now. So it is again y minus y1 m1 x minus x1, which when you calculate it will come as y minus 1, because point यही है आपके पास, minus 1 by 17 is equal to here x minus 3. When you come across a question like this, always shift this 17 there rather than get dealing in fraction. तो ये 17 वहां जाके होगा 17y minus 17 is equal to minus x plus 3, and as I said x को positive रखना है, so we'll move this x there. X plus 17y minus 17 minus 3 is 0, and your final equation will come as x plus 17y minus 20 is 0. Fine? Simple? So if you understand the concept of equation of a line as well as the basic derivative functions, you will be able to easily get the equation of tangent and normal. एक और क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे मैं देख रही हूँ, क्वेश्चन नंबर 3. Find the equation of tangent and normal to the curve where the tangent is parallel to the given line. Now here they have not given you the point. पहले में इन्होंने से 1 3 1 1 1 1 points दिया हुआ था, so it was easier for you. So here now the curve is, this is question number 3 of the textbook 4.1. y is 3x square minus 3x minus 5. And they have given that the line is parallel to 3x minus y minus 1 is equal to 0, plus 1 is equal to 0. So using this, first we will find out the slope of the tangent. So slope of tangent is, which we have seen, m is dy by dx. So ये dy by dx आपको मिल रहा है as 6x minus 3. Simple derivative of this algebraic equation, which is 6x minus 3. So once you get dy by dx, now we don't have any point for which we need the dy by dx. So let the point और द रिक्वायर्ड पॉइंट, जब भी आपको कोई चीज में एक्सप्रेशन देना है जिसको बहुत लॉन्ग वे में एक्सप्लेन करना पड़े, यू कैन यूज द वर्ड रिक्वायर्ड ओवर देयर. तो रिक्वायर्ड पॉइंट इज x1, y1. वी डोंट नो द वैल्यूज, वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट देम. अब हिंट क्या है हमारे पास, दैट दिस पर्टिकुलर टैंजेंट इज पैरेलल टू दिस लाइन. सो गिवन लाइन है आपके पास 3x minus y plus 1. इसका स्लोप निकालेंगे because they are parallel, so they'll be equal. So your 3x plus 1 is y. इसको हम लिख रहे हैं in the format of mx plus y, and m becomes your slope. So when you write it, y is equal to something x plus value, so the coefficient next to x becomes your slope. So here the slope m dash can be 3, and since the lines are parallel, m dash is equal to the slope m. Therefore 6x minus 3 is equal to 3, 6x is equal to 6, and this will help you in getting the value of 6 or x1, which is 1. क्योंकि हमें किस पॉइंट के लिए चाहिए था, x1 y1. As soon as you get x1, now what you have to find out is the respective value y1. उसके लिए हम main equation में put करेंगे because that's the equation of the curve. So for y1, y1 is equal to 3 into 1 square minus 3 into 1 minus 5. So which is 3 minus 3 minus 5. That is equal to your value, which is minus 5. So once you get minus 5 here as the value, up you will calculate the things on the point 1 comma minus 5. So we already have the point. We can find out the equation of tangent. So equation of tangent will be now y minus of minus 5 is equal to m, which we have already calculated as 3, x minus 1. So y plus 5 is equal to 3x minus 3. Switch everything to the side where x is positive. So 3x minus y minus 8 is 0. This is your equation. For the normal, the slope of normal will be ऐसे ही directly हमारे पास given है, that's minus 1 by 3 because the reciprocal and negative sign, and equation will become y plus 5 is equal to minus 1 by 3 x minus 1. Switch there, 3y plus 15 is equal to minus x plus 1, and you will get x plus 3y plus 14 is 0. So this is how we can come to the equation of normal as well as equation of tangent, which is your first kind of question. Now the second kind of question in this particular part is increasing and decreasing function. So when we talk about increasing and decreasing function means the graph is going, say, upwards. Okay, for decreasing function, the graph will come downwards. Now, ये तो graph के form में है, but definitely we can't make like this. We have to give the answer in the more objective manner. So for increasing function, your dy by dx has to be greater than 0. And for decreasing function, this is for increasing. And for decreasing function, your dy by dx has to be less than 0. This is a very simple way to get the thing that whether it is an increasing function or a decreasing function. Dy by dx we know how to calculate. So let's see a thing. Let's see a question over here. Test whether the following functions are increasing or decreasing. So if we see question number 4.2 ka first one, your fx is given as x cube minus 6x square plus 12x minus 16, x belongs to R. To find that whether it is increasing or decreasing, we have to find out f dash x. Now f dash x will become 3x square minus 12x plus 12. I can take 3 common over here, which will result in 3x square minus 4x plus 4. And a little bit of factorization knowledge is involved over here to solve that. This thing, when you see, it is x square minus 2x plus 4, or eventually ये आपका x minus 2 का whole square है. Now we have learned that any number which is a square, perfect square, can never be negative. Can it be? No. So, since x minus 2 whole square is always greater than 0, so 3 into x minus 2 whole square can be greater than or equal to भी आ सकता है, will definitely be greater than or equal to 0. Therefore, f dash x is greater than 0 and therefore fx is increasing. Now equal to part को भी हम लोग definitely ले लेते हैं at stages when it is increasing or decreasing. जब हम केवल equal to नहीं लेके only greater than or less than ले रहे हैं, that is strictly increasing, strictly decreasing part. Similarly, find the value of x for which fx is an increasing function. So here, like let's take question number 2 over here. Fx is x square plus 2x minus 5. So when we have this, सबसे पहले हम f dash x निकाल लेंगे, which is 2x plus 2. And now we know that we need it for increasing function. So अभी हमने पढ़ा हुआ है for increasing function, f dash x should be greater than 0. So your 2x plus 2 should be greater than 0. And then you can get the value of x, which is minus 2 by 2, or you can say x greater than minus 1. So for all the values of x greater than -1, this equation will be increasing. Another kind of question, find the values of x such that fx is a decreasing question. So we are talking about first here. Fx is 2x cube minus 15x square minus 144x minus 7. So when we calculate this, actually what are we going to get here? F dash x सबसे पहले निकालेंगे. So 6x square minus 30x minus 144. अब to get a fixed value of x, हमें एक range चाहिए यहाँ पे where it is a decreasing function. तो let's see, इसको simplify करते हैं तो क्या आता है? तो it is x square minus 5x minus, we'll divide this also by 6, so it is 24. Fine. So once we get this, we will factorize this part. Factorization के लिए 24 को हम लोग factorize करेंगे in such a manner so that the difference is 5. So it is coming as x square minus 8x plus 3x minus 24. ये method हम लोग use कर रहे हैं splitting the middle term. Now it's a common method of factorization. यहाँ पे x common, we are left with x minus 8 plus 3 common, x minus 8, and then finally you are getting x minus 8 and x plus 3. Once you come to this answer, अब आपको वो answer देना है for which it is decreasing. Now for decreasing function, what is the case? For decreasing function, f dash x should be less than 0. So this value 6x minus 8 into x plus 3 should be less than 0. Now to get the range in which this one is less than 0, again 11th grade में एक आपका chapter था inequalities जिसमें ये part हुआ है. I'm showing it again to you people so that you can revise that part. यहाँ पे x की दो critical values मिल रही हैं 8 and minus 3. We'll use those critical values to find out the area where it is increasing or decreasing. So I'm just erasing the first part so that I can get space to write the next thing. First part must be clear to you people now. अब ये जो critical value है ये आप side में थोड़ा सा rough में बनाओगे. एक value -3 है और एक value 8 आ रही है. Critical values निकालेंगे कैसे? By equating it to 0. So once we get this, we'll take any value of x less than -3, a value between -3 and 8, it's like a number line, and a value more than 8, and check कि कहाँ पे वो function less than 0 हो रहा है. तो let's take a value less than -3, say -5 ले लेते हैं. So -5 into -8 will be plus -8 is -13, and -5 plus 3 is -2. So your answer will come as -13 into -2, which is 26. Now 26 is a positive value. So that value is greater than 0. So this region, which is giving you the positive answer, is not our solution. Second, let's take a value between -3 and 8. Easiest value 0 है. 0 minus 8 is -8, 0 plus 3 is 3. When you multiply, you are getting the answer as -24, which is less than 0. ये आपका required region आ जा रहा है. And then let's take a value greater than 8. Let's take 10. Easy values लेना, which is easier to calculate. So 10 minus 8 is 2, 10 plus 2 is 13, which is again 26, going as plus. So by seeing this particular number line, we can see that हमारा desired result कहाँ आ रहा है? Between -3 and 8. So the thing is decreasing between -3 and 8, or you can say x belongs to -3, 8 for the decreasing function, or for the function to be decreasing. So in this range, the function will be decreasing. Is it clear? After the increasing and decreasing function, something very very close to that itself. बार बार मैंने यहाँ पे एक term use किया है, critical value, critical value. Now what are these critical values? So these are the values where the function is neither increasing nor decreasing. So that value, they are known as, these values are known as turning points, or we call them as maxima or minima for a graph. So यहीं से आपको clear हो जा रहा है कि if a graph is like this, say this, ये point इसका maxima है, ये point इसका minima है. Okay? Say. Now at this point your f dash x जो slope है वो क्या है? Parallel to x axis, and if it is parallel to x axis slope is 0. Similarly यहाँ पे भी slope क्या है? Parallel to x axis, तो slope is 0. Now we know that for the turning points it's very important for the slope to be 0, क्योंकि unless and until वो slope 0 नहीं होगा it will not change the direction. It's just like you're throwing something upwards. तो एक velocity के साथ जाता है, धीरे धीरे उसकी speed कम होती रहती है when it goes to the top point. Highest point पे the speed has to become 0 so that it can fall, क्योंकि otherwise अगर उसमें speed है तो it will continue in the same direction. So whenever we are changing the direction, we are getting a value where the slope is parallel to x-axis and the slope is 0. So at these 2 points we got this. These are the maxima and minima points. Now the next point is, how will we find out कि which one among them is maxima and which one among them is minima? क्योंकि ये x की value पे depend नहीं करेगा बेटा. Now what happens, यहाँ पे देखो x की value is less, here x की value is more. So when you see the things, actually the final value is dependent on the y value. So to find out this, we find out the double derivative. Double derivative also we have done in the chapter's derivatives. If the double derivative is less than 0, then this is the point of maxima. अब यहाँ पे भी एक पॉइंट आता है, लेस पे क्यों मैक्सिमा है? Because after the maximum point, the curve can only fall down. It cannot go up. So you can see that it's falling down. This is the maxima. And when f double dash x is greater than 0, this is the point of minima. Because after this it can only grow upwards. At minimum point say you can only grow, you can't go down below that. So first stage we'll find out the critical points or the turning points where f dash x is 0. Once you have those, then we'll find out which one of them is maxima, which one of them is minima. So f double dash x, if it's less than 0 it is maxima, if it's more than 0 it is minima. Sometimes you can get only one point also, like we can have a graph which is a quadratic graph. So we can have just here point of minima, or a graph is like this, so we can just get the point of maxima. In a straight line, we don't get that. We can't calculate that, the point of maxima or minima, because it just goes on. And in some cases, we can't get the point of maxima and minima because of getting f double dash x as 0. So in that case, when we are getting f double dash x as 0, we can see that this point is known as point of inflection. We call it as inflection, point of inflection. So now let's calculate the values of maxima and minima for certain questions. In fact, we will be getting certain word problems based on that, which is going to be good for you because basic word problems are quickly solve hoti hain. I'll tell you the way to solve it. I'll show you the trick to understand those problems. First question, direct question hai aapka. Determine the maximum and minimum value of the following function. So your fx is given as 2x cube minus 21x square plus 36x minus 20. आप निकालोगे f dash x, which is coming as 6x square minus 42x plus 36. Now you can take 6 common over here. You're left with x square minus 7x plus 6. फिर आप लिखोगे for turning points or for maxima or minima, f dash x is 0. So therefore this 6 x square minus 7x plus 6 is 0. Again we have to factorize by splitting the middle term. तो हमें यहाँ पे फैक्टराइजेशन में मिल रहा है minus 6x minus x plus 6 and then ultimately it is coming as x minus 6, x minus 1 as 0. So therefore x की दो वैल्यूज मिलेंगी, x is 6 और x is equal to 1. Out of these two values, now we know one is the maximum value, one is the minimum value. How to judge that? We'll now find out f double dash. So f double dash में हम इसी इक्वेशन को यूज कर रहे हैं, 6x square minus 42x plus 32. So this is going as 12x minus 42. I will find out the f double dash values at these 2 points. So at x is equal to 6. This is a way to write. एग्जाम में भी आप इसको इसी फॉर्मेट में फॉलो कर सकते हैं. हाँ, नॉट towards this part because I'm using the board, I'm doing that. आप उसको नीचे लिखोगे अपने पेपर पे. So x is equal to 6 पे f double dash x की जगह पे 6 डालो and then put the value 12 into 6 minus 42 which is 72 minus 42. Proper answer नहीं भी ला रहे हो तो भी चलेगा because now we can easily judge that this is greater than 0. Now since it is greater than 0, it is the point of minima. Opposite होगा, remember that. Therefore x is equal to 6 is the point of minima. Please remember that. And once you get the minima point, आप minimum value कैसे निकालोगे? क्योंकि this is also required. Get the minimum value. तो for minimum value आप इस fx में वो value डाल दोगे, f of 6 वहां पे 2 into 6 cube and then जो आंसर आपका आ रहा है that will be your minimum value. 36 into 6 minus 20 and that is your minimum value. Calculate to the end. For the next one, we'll try the next f double dash 1. So again, we'll calculate f double dash 1 के लिए इसी जगह पे we are putting 12 into 1 minus 42. Clearly दिख गया है कि आंसर minus 30 आ रहा है which is less than 0. Therefore x is equal to 1 is the point of maxima. So after judging the point of maxima and minima, what you have to do is calculate the maximum and minimum value, and for that put x is equal to 1 in the main equation. So maximum value will be f of 1, where you are going to put 2 minus 21 plus 36 minus 20 to get the answer. So this is how a basic question of maxima and minima can be solved, where we first find out the turning points, note the steps, then f double dash x, check for which particular point it is positive and where it is negative, and then get the minimum and maximum value. The same sort of thing can be asked in word problems. Like a metal wire of 36 centimeter long is bent to form a rectangle. So this is your question number 3 over here, where the perimeter of the wire is 36 centimeter because the whole length is the perimeter. And then it's given you have to find out the dimension when the area is maximum. Now in these questions, how to judge a question? First, use only one variable. Second, जिस चीज के लिए आपको maximum या minimum value लेनी है, that will be your fx. यहाँ पे fx क्या हुआ? Area. So let L is equal to x. अगर आपने length को x सेंटीमीटर ले लिया है, तो breadth now will calculate in terms of length. So we have the basic formula of this 2 into L plus B, that is the perimeter. So 36 is equal to 2 into x plus b. 36 by 2 minus x is b, and therefore b is equal to 18 minus x. So आपने एक assume किया था, second you got in terms of x. Now the function is, we have to find out for maxima. So fx is area, which is L into b. So this is going to be x into 18 minus x. This is your fx. So when you solve it, your fx actually becomes 18x minus x square. Is function ka maxima or minima we have to calculate. So for maxima or minima, f dash x has to be 0. So this is 18 minus 2x. Here for turning points, here for maxima, minima or minima, f dash x is 0. So 18 minus 2x is 0, and therefore 18 is equal to 2x, x is 9. Then we'll calculate f double dash x. ये directly आपको -2 मिल रहा है, which is less than 0. Therefore, x is equal to 9 is the point of maxima. ये आपको सीधे सीधे आंसर दे रहा है. You don't have to solve next. Once you get x is equal to 9 is the point of maxima, then you just have to calculate the other dimensions. So length is 9, and then breadth becomes 18 minus 9, which is also 9. So the dimensions becomes 9 centimeter and 9 centimeter. This is how the question can be solved. Sometimes I've seen kids struggling with these sort of questions, but just go with the concept. You have to use one variable. Given information, say second variable nikalo, and then whatever you have to maximize or minimize should be your function. So after this particular thing, now we are moving to the last part of this application of derivative, which is the application of derivatives in economics. So in economics, we come across things like demand function, price function, revenue, marginal demand, okay, supply function, marginal supply, revenue, marginal revenue, and one more thing that's known as elasticity of demand. For any marginal function, जैसे अगर आपको marginal demand लेना है, तो it has to be the derivative of the demand function. If it is marginal supply, it has to be the derivative of the supply function. So marginal demand dd by dp, here ds by dp. Marginal cost also, if you have to say, so it is again the derivative of the cost function. Okay. Marginal revenue also is a derivative of the revenue function. Revenue is always demand multiplied by the price per unit. ये सारे basics आपने थोड़े economics में definitely किए हुए हैं. One more thing comes over here that is known as elasticity of demand. To be more specific, price elasticity of demand. And this elasticity of demand is used with denoted with a symbol. This is a Greek symbol known as eta. Simply इसकी spelling होती है ETA. This is equal to minus P upon D, where P is the price, D is the demand function, and multiplied by DD by DP means the derivative of the demand function with respect to price. So this is one major formula which we have to go with the things. Now demand function decreasing hoga agar dd by dp is less than 0, increasing if it is greater than 0. This we have seen in the increasing and decreasing function. But the value of eta also decides certain things. Like demand will be elastic if the value of this is greater than 1, eta. If it is between 0 and 1, it is considered to be inelastic. So this is elastic, this is inelastic. And at 1, when the value is 1, it is known as unitary elastic. So in these questions, sometimes after writing, they also ask you to interpret the result. So interpretation will only result in this part. that if the value of eta is more than 1, it is elastic, less than 1, 0 to 1, it is relatively inelastic, or otherwise unitary elastic. So after this, let's come to one or two questions over here. There's one more topic here, that is the marginal propensity to consume. Same here also, as the word marginal comes, you have to calculate the derivative. If the word average comes, that average propensity to consume, you just have to divide it by the number of units produced, that is X usually. Okay, even marginal propensity to save, S is the saving of a person, then marginal propensity to save is ds by dx, and average propensity is S upon X. So when we differentiate, we can always get one particular thing, that 1 is equal to EC over X plus S over X, or 1 is equal to D of EC over dx plus D of S over dx. So we can say that marginal propensity to consume plus marginal propensity of saving adds up to 1. Similarly, the average propensity to consume and average propensity of saving is equal to 1. ये part आपके theory part में आ सकता है, where it is MCQs or true or false, objective type questions. So there you can definitely get these questions. Now we are moving to the questions where we are calculating this part, seeing how to apply this application of derivative in case of economics. Let's see, the total cost function for a production of article is given over here. Find the value of X for which total cost is decreasing. So we have cost as 100 plus 600x minus 3x squared. This is question number 3 over here of exercise 4.4. So अगर आपको decreasing लेना है तो dc by dx, which is 600 minus 6x. And since you want to know where it is decreasing, so for decreasing function or for decreasing cost, क्योंकि यहाँ पे specifically cost word use हो गया है, so dc by dx should be less than 0. 600 minus 6x is less than 0. 600 is less than 6x. 600 upon 6 is less than x, and therefore you can say x has to be greater than 100. So this will be your answer, that the value of x for which the total cost is decreasing is 100 more than that. So if you produce more than 100 units, definitely the total cost will start decreasing. It will be profitable for the organization. Similarly, we can get a question over here that find the marginal revenue if the average revenue is 45 and elasticity of demand is 5. So here the values are given to you, that average revenue is given as 45. Elasticity of demand means this value is 5. And we'll calculate this value using the formula of eta as well as the other differentiation value. So now we know the formula that marginal revenue is basically denoted by RM. You can say that RM is equal to RA 1 minus 1 by eta, or elasticity of demand. So average revenue is given as 45. Elasticity is 1 by 5 as such. So we'll write over here 1 by 5. That will become 4 by 5. And using this, आपको marginal revenue की value मिल जाएगी, which is 36. So using the direct formula over here, you can calculate the given part. So this was your chapter, applications of derivatives, dealing with the increasing and decreasing function, equation of tangent, equation of normal, maxima and minima, and its proper application in economics. A list of formulae is given at the end of the video, which you can click and save as a ready reckoner. So I hope it's going to help you, and keep studying. I'll be meeting you with the next videos, with the next topics. Till then, bye bye. See you all.